Patients aided by insurance are preferring quality and larger hospitals for treatment, as a result of which surgical mix for hospitals is expanding. This is driving up the amount of money hospitals generate from each bed, also known as the average revenue per occupied bed, or ARPOB, which has risen around 10% in the first half of FY24 versus 8% CAGR over FY17 to FY23. Now let's start with how an improving payer mix is changing dynamics. Hospitals have seen insurance as a mode of payment rise by at least 10 to 15% since COVID-19, now over 40% for some hospital chains' revenue. This, in conjunction with reducing share of payments from institutions or government schemes, is aiding ARPOBs, as ARPOBs from the cash or insurance channel is generally 80 to 85% higher. Now, ARPOBs are also aided by an increase in revenue from surgeries. Insurance penetration combined with more awareness has resulted in patients choosing to get treated and/or operated in larger scale multi-chain hospitals versus nursing homes or standalone hospitals for both routine and complex procedures. Routine surgeries are generally simpler procedures which cost less unless high-end technology is used. For example, a laparoscopic surgery, which then results in a 15 to 20% jump in prices. Complex surgeries are higher-end procedures, for example, heart, cancer and transplant procedures. They cost more as they require skilled, more senior doctors, bigger teams, and use more advanced technology such as even robots. A robotic surgery, for example, costs 30 to 40% more due to the surgeon, machine, and aftercare costs. Both complex and routine surgeries have picked up in India. A few hospital chains have indicated there has been at least a 25 to 30% rise in surgeries across larger chain hospitals, with around a 30 to 40% rise in complex cases alone. Tied into surgical revenue is the rise in medical tourism, where international patients generally come to India for high-end procedures and treatments that cost 1/5 or 1/10 the cost of developed markets. As per feedback, international patients generally come for complex procedures such as cancer, neuro, and organ transplants. A simple example, India, which now conducts 15 to 17 times more organ transplants because of increased technology and competency than it did a decade ago, does it at 30 to 40% of the cost in more developed countries such as the US and Singapore. Lastly, what is the way forward? In the next 5 years, hospital companies expect out-of-pocket expenditure of patients to reduce by at least 50% and around a 10% rise in medical tourism per year. All this leading to a steady rise in surgical revenues. And when it comes to complex surgeries that have a higher ticket price than routine procedures but lower than global counterparts, hospitals are gearing up for more. For example, Medanta has added robotic surgery in every specialty, while HCG has commissioned 3 robotic machines this quarter, and Fortis has commissioned high-end medical equipment including orthorobotics and LINAC machines. All this, experts say, will result in at least a 5 to 7% inflation-linked growth in the average revenue per occupied bed for the next 5 years.